This is the SDP podcast, the Scott Davidson podcast. Your home for everything VHL, the virtual hockey league. Trades, rivalries, league drama, playoffs, and the moves shaping the league. From the front office to the mind of the Buffalo Sabres GM. If it's happening in the VHL, we're talking about it. Drop the puck, let's go!
All right, welcome everybody back to another SDP podcast. Your hottest VHL news you can get. We are here with the final. Been a great playoff so far. Been some surprises, been some not some surprises. I've done pretty well on my predictions, with a couple of bumps along the way. Anyways, so we are at the finale here. Beautiful sunny day. Finished work here. Got the VHL hat on now rather than the work hat. Got a beer with me. Flying Monkey, juicy ass IPA. Beautiful beer. You'll see this. Well, I guess you probably won't see it now. What happened? But I had this beer earlier on another part of a show. We'll get to that later. It's a brewery out of Barrie. They do a lot of exceptional beers. They don't make mistakes. I really enjoy their stuff. This one here comes in at 6.5%. It's a hazy IPA, and it's delicious. So, open this bad boy. Earned that one today. Really good hops on that one. It's a really good beer. One of their best. Costco sells it out here anyways, in 2.4 tall cans. Beautiful. To get into our VHL final here now. I want to stretch this out a little bit so Wolf can get a beer or two in them. We've got the final recap and the predictions. We can't really get into the final prediction unless we recap the series. So, having a look at these, we've reached the final round. I'm going to congratulate both Zach and Matt for reaching the finals in their respective conferences. They did very well in their series. So, how did they advance to get here? Florida took on Boston in the Eastern Conference Championship. I predicted that Florida would win in 6 games over Boston, and they in fact did win in 6 games. So I nailed that one right down to the number of games. They outscored them 20-16. So 4 of those 6 games were decided by a single goal. With the only large win by Florida, it was game 1 of the series. So after that, it was a really tight series. But in the end, Florida came out. Against the Bruins, the Panthers' power play was just over 10%. Much more disciplined team, though, than Boston was, and it paid off for Florida. Florida was only shorthanded 11 times in 6 games, which is crazy good. And they killed every single one of those penalties. So that's the difference in the series and why Boston's not here. This brings the Panthers' overall power play for the playoffs is just over... it's down a bit now, and it sits at 16%. It's good for 10th overall out of all playoff teams. Not very good. And the penalty kill, however, though, is number 1 in the league in the playoffs, 93%. Man, that's good. That is tops of the league. Their MVP for the series against Boston, this was a very tough one. I looked at each and every game, and every single one of them was dominated by a different guy. Colton Parayko and John Tavares dominated game 1. Eichel had a turn, dominating a game. Barkov and Ovechkin had a turn. And even Brian Rust had a turn, who's been not great. So in the end, they had 16 goals allowed over the 6 games. So, which is the most Vasilevsky's allowed against in any of the rounds so far. So it's not him for the MVP. So the MVP of this round, I'm going to give it to a guy I've spoke about already, maybe I think twice. I finally listened to what I said he had to do. So Joel Eriksson Ek has finally woke the fuck up. And he had 3 goals and 2 assists in the 6-game series. But he also had the game winner in both games 5 and 6, which was the series clinching goal. So Joel Eriksson Ek, MVP for the round against Boston. Wake the fuck up goes to now Anze Kopitar for Florida. He just has not been very good. This may be his last crack at the Stanley Cup. in the VHL. He's got 1 season left after this, and he has just 3 goals and 2 assists in the playoffs. So 16 games, that's just not good enough. He's winning some draws, but that's not good enough. So that's the breakdown of the East. Western Conference Final. It featured the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. I took Dallas to win this in 5 games. Yet, once again, Vegas proved me wrong, defeating the Stars in 5 games. Once again, they won, winning mostly 1-goal games. They won 3 games by a single goal. And Vegas outscored Dallas 14-10 in the series, which indicates a close series. Against the Stars, the Vegas power play did run at 25%. Very strong. However, it was limited chances. Dallas only took 12 penalties. So, not a lot of opportunities, but they made good on 3 of them. So, Golden Knights killed 80% of the penalties in the series, which was fairly solid and pretty reflective of their playoff numbers. Once again, MVP of the series, it has to be Connor Hellebuyck again. He's the man in Vegas. He allowed just 10 goals this series against the mighty Dallas Stars team in a 5-game series. So 2 goals a game. And I think that actually brought his numbers up a little. He's been just unreal. The wake the fuck up gonna go to Corey Perry of Vegas. 2 goals, 1 assist. I know he's a role player at this point, but he's also a veteran and a leader and a playoff guy. And 3 points, 16 games just isn't going to cut it for the veteran. Odd Corey Perry story. Some of you may know I've mentioned before. He's a customer of mine. Been to his house a number of times. He's got a nice, beautiful place on Stony Lake. And the funny thing about it is his gate code for his place was the exact same as I would do if I was an NHL player. And it would be my hockey number twice, and that's exactly what he did. Not his new one, but his old one. So yeah, pretty interesting, little fun Corey Perry anecdote. All right, so that's how these 2 teams got here. They did it in fairly dominant fashion, winning a lot of close games, which is exactly what they've done all playoff long. So I think it's 2 similar teams. We're set for a great final. So that's going to cover it for the breakdowns. Next, we will start talking about the actual series. We'll be right back with the beer of the week. And we've got the press conference coming up. One of those things. We'll get to that. I have some info on that. Some disappointment, but I'll cover it in that section. Anyways, that's it for the breakdown. Thank you.
Hey! 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 Scott's here. Let the good times roll. SDP's here for your thirsty soul. Pour a cold one. Let the week fade for the beer of the week parade. Yeah, yeah!
All right, welcome VHL to our beer of the week. We didn't get to have one last week, busy week, but we will do one here. Beautiful day, got home from work here. Kids just got home off the bus. We are heading to baseball here in a few minutes, so get this done. So today we've got it's gonna be backwards maybe for you because I did self version this time. Anyways, it's Old Flame Brewing Company, Port Perry, Ontario. This is the Raven Black Lager. It is 5%. It's a brewery that's 20 minutes from my house. They make an excellent blonde, brunette, red. They do a vanilla porter in the winter, a few different things. Little bar area, they do bands and things like that. This one's dark chocolate espresso, intense roast, and yeah, so it's a dark beer. I like darks. I drink more of them in the winter, but still drink them anytime I'm offered. So we'll get it as is. Port Perry, Ontario, Old Flame Brew. Bit of a windy day. as I record this, I believe we have one of our finalists have advanced. So congratulations to Zach in Vegas. Well, spoiler alert, I don't do this all in one shot. Okay, so a nice carbonation on that. It's a good pour. Nice, beautiful dark. Smells good. Smooth, very smooth, very good. Get the dark chocolate, you can get the chocolate out of it. And the espresso, both are pretty prevalent without being too much. Nice and smooth. It's not thick like a Guinness stout. It's not a stout, it's a lager. But, yeah, it's smooth. Bit of an aftertaste at the end, but not off-putting. Yeah, really good. So, Old Flame Brewery, Port Perry, Ontario. Feel free to get yourself some. Comes highly recommended for me. Those that like dark beers definitely like this beer. Very flavorful. Very smooth. Next one we do, maybe we'll get a hazy or a hoppy beer in there. Yeah. We are a pretty warm day. It's what, 23, 24 degrees. Beautiful breeze. Yeah, it's a really good after work beer. It's one they've had for a few years. According to the can anyways. So, Old Flame Brewery, Raven, black lager, premium black lager. Much approved. I'm going to finish this and yeah, we'll move on to the next segment. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
SDP Press Conference. Scott Davidson Press Conference.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This press conference was going to be spectacular. Interviewed a wonderful guy. We had San Jose Joe on, and unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties, and I do not have any audio. I got the visual. It was great. We went over a whole bunch of things. We spoke about Cam Neely. We spoke about Claude Lemieux. Spoke about our kids. We have very similar age kids, very active in sports. We went through this team and not winning in 20 years. Where it began, where he is now, things like that. We didn't have any audio. We got to sit and have a drink together, which was great. It was a beautiful day. Enjoyed the talk. We went over quickly on the playoffs, not a lot. More so life stuff. Went over some things about how he feels about people in the league, things like that. But unfortunately, I'll give you a quick video clip of it right here. but we didn't manage to get anything audio-wise, and Joe was disheartened, and so was I. It was a spectacular thing. We sat for 25 minutes, went through things, but that didn't work out. So I'm going to be looking for some technical help and what I can use to make sure that doesn't happen again. I'd like to do more of these interviews. Maybe it's something I can feature over the summer. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do. And maybe Joe and I can get together again. Regardless, a win for me because I got to enjoy a beer with a guy I've known a long time, and it was great to sit and talk with him. It was excellent. So unfortunately, I can't use the material, but I want to thank Joe anyways, and we'll look forward to doing more. Thanks, guys. And we're back. So yeah, disappointment on that press conference. Again, my apologies to Joe. Here's a cheers to you, buddy. We'll have to do it again. It was fantastic. Really enjoyed the quick hitting questions we did at the end. Some pretty cool stuff revealed. So I will do it again, and I will come up with some different stuff for him just so it's fresh, because he was lights out. And yeah, I enjoyed the time and the drink with him. So again, that was disappointing. It happened that way. I will get it figured out, and I'll get better. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. I'm just trying to do something for the league here, and I've enjoyed the playoffs, and I've enjoyed being reinvigorated with the VHL again. I needed it. Maybe the break overall was great for me as well, and something I think had to happen, and I think now everything will thrive. We had an excellent draft show, on Saturday night, put on by Matt and Tom. I think Will was part of that. Number of people. Congratulations to Dallas for using my damn pick. And thanks a lot, Gabe and Gary, for that. So, so a lot of great things happening with the league. Staff have done an amazing job. Just want to make that clear. When it's not having to be Wolf doing everything, or myself or Stepman doing it, like everybody steps in and does their part. Matt Farkas has done videos and stuff in the last couple of years on trade deadlines. Nick's just a wizard with numbers and dealing with all the signings. Lewis with simming now. Matt with these extra things too. So like everybody, Tom, he's believe he's paid for a lot of the server, and Matt and Wolf too. So like everybody does their part, and we couldn't do without any of them. So I want to thank everybody for that. Thank the members of the league for being invested and participating in these events. They're more fun to do when people take part and watch and listen and critique. I'm open to it. Everybody should be. Makes you a better person. So with that said, let's get into this elite Stanley Cup final. This is the whole enchilada now. We've got the big event. Stanley Cup final sees Matt return to his third straight Stanley Cup final. But he's still looking for his first win. What an underachiever he is. Nowhere near the quality of a Buffalo GM back in the day. Just putting that out there. Anyways, speaking of Buffalo, he is trying to avoid being the Buffalo Bills of the VHL. He will take on Zach, our GM of the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm not sure everybody is aware of Zach being the GM of the Vegas Golden Knights, but he is, and he is the ghost of the VHL. He is looking to reign supreme, having knocked off all his opponents with very little resistance, really, and he's been projected to lose each and every time. He's almost single-handedly ruined my Western predictions these playoffs. I now sit 9 for 13 in the playoffs, and 3 of those were incorrect because of Zach's Knights. Like the ghost he is, I didn't actually get a comment for him this round. I tried, and I didn't hear back. However, that didn't stop me. I would guess he had this to say, so this is what I would guess he would say. Quote, "That chump of a commissioner hasn't picked right yet when it comes to the mighty Vegas Golden Knights. Shouldn't be surprised anyway, seeing as the GM finished second from the bottom of the league, and the chump doesn't even own his own pick that won the lottery. Speaking of chumps, Florida couldn't beat their own Shadow Hellebuck in 6. So, end quote. That's what I'm predicting Zach would say. Well, Zach, if that's your real name, well, let's break it down. Vegas doesn't have a single player at even a point a game and relies on Huberdeau, Kempe, and Dubois for all their offense up front. Their next 3 scorers see Brett Kulik Jonas Brodin and Darnell Nurse as their offensive weapons, not exactly known for their high scoring. All are on the blue line. The second wave of forward offense is Bo Horvat, Steven Stamkos, and Jared McCann, who have just 8 and 7 points each in 16 games. There is no secondary scoring in Vegas. Looking at Florida, they see Eichel with 22 points in 16 games. He's by far their leader. Tavares is at a point a game, 16 points. Colton Parayko is next with 14 points off the blue line. Their next forwards see Barkov, Carlson, and Ovechkin with 12, 11, and 10 points respectively. So not a ton more depth than Vegas has. Some, but not a lot. On the blue line, after Parayko, Yossi has 11 points and Devon Toews has 9. The slow starters, Eriksson Ek and Rust, both have 8 points now in 16 games. So they've come around, but they're still only a half point a game. Neither of these teams have dynamic scoring to date so far. Florida does, however, own their better overall offense at 3.25 goals a game to Vegas's 2.69. However, neither offense is that strong. It's not their forte. The series features two of the absolute best teams at keeping pucks out of their net. Should not be surprised, considering it's Connor Hellebuyck and Andrei Vasilevsky. Florida allows just 2 goals against a game, which is incredible, and Vegas allows even less at under 2 goals a game. I mean, Florida does attempt to play offense. Their shooting percentage is trash. They shoot more than anyone in the league in the playoffs, and I keep waiting for them to break out and have that power play improve. It just has not happened. Vegas has the better power play. However, the Panthers do not allow power play goals against. Their penalty kill is exceptional. So for Florida to win this series, the power play has to get their shit together. They have to remain disciplined. Andrei Vasilevsky, he has to outplay Connor Hellebuyck, which is a tall task. The scoring depth all have to contribute like they did against Boston, where they were getting scoring from everybody in different games. For Vegas to win the series, the penalty kill needs to improve. They have to find a way to get puck possession off the faceoff, and they have to remain disciplined. Hellebuyck has to outplay Vasilevsky, also a tall task. From Matt, quote, once again, we find ourselves in the finals. It's not an easy road for any team to make it here. And if we don't seize this opportunity to win a championship at this time, I may never win one. Zach has built a very solid team. Helly is playing at an unreal level, and this is going to be a tough one to win for me, but I believe in this group, end quote. Well, Matt, you aren't wrong. It is not going to be easy. The Panthers do own the faceoff circle, and both teams are very disciplined. 2 things are going to decide this series for me. Which goalie is better, and can Florida win the special teams battle? Vegas keeps getting overlooked. But here they are, and all they do is win more one-goal games than anyone. So Florida has to be, in my opinion, more than a goal better than Vegas in the series to win. Also from Matt, quote, if I lose, at least there's a silver lining. Rape Joe didn't win, end quote. Sorry, Matt, but neither did you. Vegas won't fool me again. I'm taking Vegas in 6. So that is my final prediction for the VHL playoffs this year. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching, contributing, putting out questions. I think a lot of it got answered in those first couple, so we didn't get into some specific questions so much. I do have some things planned moving forward. I've got some pretty in-depth questions I want to cover with a podcast, and which I thought were great questions, but they're going to take some time for me to research. And then I will start hitting some people up for some GM interviews once I can figure out how to not have the sound not record on me again. So yeah, I'm an old guy. Technology is not my thing. I'm learning it, but it is fun to do, and I enjoyed the time with Joe, and I want to make more of those. So I think there's a lot of unique personalities in this league. I think it'd be great to learn some insight on people that we don't see every day. So if somebody's familiar or knows more of what I could do that way, I will try it. I've tested a few different ways that did not work for me. So after the failed interview. So I will figure it out. I'll keep researching. That's my thing. Anyways, good luck to both Zach and Matt. Be nice to see Matt win one, but at the same time, you know, Zach's built a hell of a team there, and I am predicting him to win. Whether it's the right call, I've been against him the entire time, and he's proved me wrong. So now he'll probably prove me wrong the other way, but who knows? But maybe I'll be right, and poor Matt will suffer one more year. So, he's not Buffalo. I just want to keep putting that out there, Matt. You're not Buffalo. Can only be the bridesmaid so long, buddy, before you fall off the cliff. All right. Good luck, guys. Enjoy the rest of the series, and we got the draft coming up in a few weeks, I guess. All right. Thank you for watching. Chug one more beer, Wolf, and then you can put this down. For now, I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the Scott Davidson Podcast. SDP!